Welcome to a special Friday the 13th edition of Beyond the Game on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Attempting to scare me is Brandon Johnson as he's crouching.
No.
What's he doing?
No.
What is he doing? What in the world is going on?
I am taking a knee on Beyond the Game, Jacob.
Taking a knee?
Yes.
You're taking a knee! No one takes a knee on my show!
Gotta make a difference this show. Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
That was good. There.
Oh, wow. Woo. That was awesome.
Don't worry, I won't do it again.
I hate you guys.
That way you'll get signed by NFL teams? You won't do it again?
Nah,
the number to call, if you have something on your mind, is 516-572-7440. Dominic Arbolino and Eric Fischetti are also here. And we got to start with baseball. The ALCS.
Man, I'm excited too, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Take it away, guys.
Okay. First off, I didn't think Kluber was going to do that again.
No.
I
didn't think he'd do it once.
Okay, and I just want to say that we did not give them a chance, and
No,
we
we
were
didn't.
totally wrong. As soon as Kluber shut them down after Game 2, we're like, all right, they're done. They come back to the stadium, win 2 games in a row. Thank you, Greg Bird. Thank you, everybody. Oh, my God. And you know what? Kluber and Bauer were both pitching on little rest, excuse me.
Well, Kluber had an extra day for Game 5. Yeah, he did, because that was the reason for not starting him Game 1.
Fox Sports once said that he was pitching on I think 3 days rest.
No, that's 100% wrong, because he had the travel day between Game 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Game 3, Game 4, then the travel day, then Game 5.
But apparently, to me, he wasn't healthy because he said, I was healthy enough to pitch after the game.
Francona did say that Kluber was pitching through, what was it, a back injury? Is that what they said? I think I remember hearing that.
And you know what? Either way, you have to give your hats off to the Cleveland Indians. They were completely the best team in baseball throughout the year. They had such a slow start, and then that 22 game...
The 22-game winning streak,
wow, I can't even talk right now. Jeez.
Nice job, Eric.
It's because you're talking too fast.
Thinking about the Yankees. Yeah, he just want to talk about Yankees.
I was going to say, you're just so pumped for the Yankees.
Because, you know what? They just beat a good team.
Yes, they did.
Great team.
A great team.
Yeah.
They can match up with Houston.
They can, but I picked the Yankees to lose in the ALDS, and it came back to bite me in the ass.
No, that's a good thing. That means you got to pick them again to lose. They'll win.
If I requote, I don't think the Yankees are going to win it at all. I think they're going to get sweep.
Yep.
Oh, that was Jeff's fault.
I said that. No, listen, I was 100% wrong. I'm glad to be wrong.
You know what? Can I comment on something?
Go ahead.
For a guy like myself...
Brandon, you're on a sports talk show. It's your job
I'm just
to comment
saying.
on
No,
things.
I didn't know when to come in because I wanted to say, like, for a guy like myself that doesn't really watch baseball as much, but I have been watching Yankees on playoffs. And it's just been great. I mean...
Can I take a moment to rip on Brandon for something that he texted us? He texted us yesterday, what channel is the Yankee game on?
Because...
How do you not know?
No, I'm going to be honest. No, because I kept hearing, like, people saying, yo, Yankees are on tonight. So I was like, oh, damn. When I checked, it was the Cubs, right?
Yeah, it was
the Cubs won.
So I was like, okay, yeah, it's probably tomorrow. But I just been watching this series, especially when they were home, and then it's just like a life, you know, just reinstored into them, you know?
Hey, listen, I was there. I was there games 3 and 4, and it was ecstatic. The electricity in that stadium was palpable. It was unbelievable. The last time the stadium was that electric, forget Jeter's last game 6 of the 2009 World Series, which I was also at.
Of course you were.
It was... Okay, fine. Don't go with me to Game 5.
I got to take off first. Brandon, would you like to go?
Yes.
I'll take Jacob's ticket.
I had to take Mark Talkowski, the biggest Yankee hater in the world, to Game 4 because you couldn't go.
I won't do that to you again.
I couldn't. I know. I realized I made a mistake by not cutting class.
The damn Yankee hater! Oh my God, he was clapping like, "Yay, Indians!"
Remember I texted you. I said, screw the Rays. How about that?
He laughed.
I will say this, just going back to the series. I think that this series is going to go the distance again.
I'm picking Astros in 6, but obviously I'm rooting for the Yankees.
I'm going to say 7 games. I'm going to say it takes 7 games. Absolutely.
Who are you picking?
I don't want to jinx it, but as we all know, I'm probably going to pick the Yankees. But I really do think, because the last series was full of pitching, this series is going to be offense.
Okay,
Jacob,
I can see that.
Let me ask you something, because I've been listening to a lot of sports shows, and then they were saying that...
And they're all worse than ours.
Yeah, of course. They're saying, like, if the Yankees make it past the Cleveland Indians, you have a legitimate shot for them to go to the World Series.
Yeah,
well, you don't think that?
I 100%. Listen, I could totally see the Yankees beating Houston. It's very possible.
So what's the factors that you're saying that they won't be able to beat the Astros?
The Astros have a stacked lineup with George Springer, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve batted, 500 in the ALDS? You know, you take a look at the veterans that they have on that team, Brian McCann and Carlos Beltran, Josh Reddick. Two of those are former Yankees. Reddick's a former Red Sox. The pitching, adding Justin Verlander, which I didn't like at the time, but that was such a good move for the Astros. He's been pitching lights out for them. Dallas Keuchel is always giving the Yankees trouble. It's possible he can start 3 games this series.
But I feel like it's kind of like how last series was, like you just mentioned, great pitching, a great rotation, a great lineup, you know, ball hitters as far as what I'm saying, and then they're coming into this series with the same results. You know what I mean? So that's why it's hard to say, like, you know.
Is your point that I'm not picking the Yankees?
I think that's what I'm basically trying to say, yeah.
I mean, I just think Houston's going to be a really tough team. Houston runs a lot. Gary Sanchez has his defensive issues. I know he has a cannon for an arm, but he's horrible defensively. It's going to be a really tough series. I could totally see the Yankees winning it, but if I had to pick, I would say Astros in 6.
I will say this. I said this last series. All the pressure's on Cleveland. You know, as soon as the Yankees got to the ALDS, it's all on Cleveland. I think it's going to be the exact same thing now, where the Astros, this is supposed to be their year, and the Yankees weren't supposed to be here. All the pressure's on Houston now.
We do have a caller on the line. Caller, you're on Beyond the Game.
How you doing? Richie from Charlotte.
Richie.
Doing good, Richie. How are you?
Listen, I want to tell me the truth. Did you boo the other night, Joe Girardi? Did you boo him, yes or no?
No, I did not.
No, absolutely not.
I didn't. Well, of course you didn't. You weren't there, Eric.
Well, I still wanted to boot him anyway. The guy's a human. He makes mistakes.
Honestly, I'm the kind of guy, and Brandon, you can back me up on this.
Absolutely.
When I go to sporting events, I don't get too demonstrative. I'll clap if something good happens. I'll boo if something bad happens. But other than that, I'm just very stoic.
Yeah,
and
seldom.
I take in the environment.
Sometimes I can get really mad.
And I'm going to just put one other issue. First of all, I want you to know the Yankees question, and I want to talk about the Giants for one question.
Go ahead.
Now, the thing is, the game the other night, the last game the Yankees played, right?
Yeah.
So who saved that game from? David Robertson. Thank God the Yankees got him.
David Robertson was maybe the second best pitcher for the Yankees this series, and that's counting guys like Tanaka and Sabathia. I mean, Robertson was amazing.
Thank God they got. You know, he's a free agent, so they better sign him.
Next year. Next year he's a free agent.
Betances, is he on the roster, or they put him on the roster?
Betances is on the roster.
Girardi's just not pitching him.
He'll be the mop-up guy.
That's it, right?
Yeah. There's no chance that Girardi puts Betances in a high-leverage situation. We saw it Game 2. It failed. We saw it Game 4. He couldn't even hold a 4-run lead. Dellin Betances will be traded before the season opener next year.
You know what?
You probably get a lot for him.
I agree in that 100%.
Thank you. So what was your giant point?
Giant point is, how does this guy lose control of the team? How does he do this?
You know what?
What does it matter?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I mean, I just feel like it comes to a point where you have high expectations on the season, and then you start to lose games, very close games, and then the players, they're not agreeing with the coach himself. So I just think that's why the reason you break off so much.
Don't you think Eli Manning should step up with these guys?
But he's not.
I'm assuming you're a Giant fan. So
yes, I am.
Let me ask you something. What was your expectation for the Giants coming into the season?
Say that again?
What was your expectation for the Giants coming into the season?
9-7.
Okay, did you think that they were going to make the playoffs?
Wow. No.
You did not. Okay, now see, before the season started, the Giants, to me, were the clear-cut favorite to win the NFC East, and maybe the Cowboys, Eagles. The Giants had Super Bowl hopes coming into the season, especially with the addition of Brandon Marshall and Ben McAdoo coming off his first coaching run and got them to a wild card game, and they ran into the Green Bay Packers, who, obviously fell short against the Atlanta Falcons. This team had such high expectations coming from fans and just the quote-unquote NFL experts, and it all just falls apart. And the main reason why is because because of injuries. Everybody's getting hurt.
No, that's not the main reason
That's
why.
one of the main reasons why.
No,
and Jerry Reese did not do his job.
not even close. Exactly, Jerry Reese not doing his job. Did a horrible job with the offensive line.
They remind me of the Mets of this year. They really do.
No, the reason that the Giants are failing is not because of the injuries. And Richie, thank you for the call. The reason that the Giants are failing is because they don't have a damn offensive line.
That's a glaring issue.
Jerry Reese failed tremendously. The season falls on him. Ben McAdoo's not a great coach by any stretch. He's not Tom Coughlin. He's not Allie Sherman. He's not Jim Fossil. But he's not a horrible coach. If you want McAdoo gone as a Giant fan, you need to want Reese gone also. And if you don't, that makes me question your intelligence.
No, that's true. But honestly, considering how the season is going, I say if the losing continues before the end of the season, I really do think McAdoo's gone. For some reason, I think that's going to fall on the coach.
But I think they'll fire both of them.
I think they should fire both of them if that's the case. If the losing continues, why not?
That's
sure.
fair. That's a fair point. That's a very fair point.
But you can't do it he's not saying mid-season fire.
No,
right?
I'm just saying, like, if first off, the Giants are playing Sunday night, and I think that they're going to get blown out by the Broncos. I really do. Something in my gut tells me that they're in trouble.
They're going to lose by at least 20 points.
Mm-hmm. I think so, too. I really think it's going to be a blowout.
It will be.
All I'm saying is that if the Giants' woes continue, especially because everybody's hurt, all the key pieces are hurt. Even Landon Collins is questionable for Sunday night. Olivier Vernon's out. Perkins is out. Richburg's out. That's already another hole on a glaring hole of an offensive line. I think that if the losing continues, McAdoo's gone first, and at the end of the season, Reese is gone. I really do.
I think they'll fire them both.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's so crazy how we're just going to jump to them getting fired when a guy like Bowles had a great season his first year, and the second year he was able to return.
Yeah, that's another reason.
You know what I mean? And then they had a bad season the second year.
You never know.
Yeah, but the Giants are 0-5 and are losing very winnable games, though.
It's true. That is true.
Let me tell you, if you put Todd Bowles on this Giant team, they have at least one win. I think Ben McAdoo right now
he's made some bad coaching decisions. Yeah,
I'm telling you guys, Ben McAdoo does not know how to make coaching offensive plays. I'm telling you.
I never said the guy was Allie Sherman, but he's not a horrible coach.
I understand.
The guy does have a playoff appearance under his belt.
He does.
There are certain coaches that are very good for certain teams, and I don't think Ben McAdoo is the guy for the Giants.
McAdoo needs to change the offense from the West Coast system. That's all it is.
Eli Manning's not Aaron Rodgers.
You're 100% right. No one's Aaron Rodgers. The only Aaron Rodgers in the world is Aaron Rodgers.
That is true.
So what about the NLCS? Dodgers-Cubs. Did any of you guys stay up for Game 5?
I tried to.
I didn't.
I was up when the Cubs were down by 1 run in the 7th inning, and I fell asleep.
Okay. All right. To be honest with you, I went to bed kind of early last night, like 11:30, midnight-ish. So I really wasn't watching the game too much. But this is going to be a really fun series. Dodgers-Cubs. I'm picking the Dodgers, but I could see the Cubs winning.
This one's going to go the distance, too. This one's going to go 7 games, too, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I'll say Dodgers in 7. I'll say Dodgers in 7. I'll agree with that.
Oh, I kind of like the Cubs. I don't know. But again, I was wrong with the Diamondbacks, so don't listen to me. Listen to you.
You're right with football, just not with baseball.
Yeah. Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, thanks.
I can't believe that, man. It's like Don was talking about it. Now all 3 of our star receivers are injured, so it's just like a bad blow.
All 3 of you guys.
I got Evan Engram on my fantasy team now. I'm happy.
What do you want for
Engram? Make a fantasy trade. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
You're listening to Beyond the Game on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I am Jacob Volk. Sitting across from me, Brandon Johnson, Dominic Arbolino, and Eric Fischetti. Number to call if you have something on your mind is 516-572-7440. So the Red Sox fired John Farrell this year. He led the Red Sox to a 93-69 record and the AL East title, becoming the first manager in franchise history to lead the team to back-to-back division titles. How crazy is that?
To me, it was actually shocking because I did not see that coming. Because apparently the reports.
No. I'm not talking about Farrell being fired. The Red Sox have never won back-to-back division titles before. Isn't that wild?
That is weird. That's a weird stat.
Wait, that's
great
weird.
Red
Wait a
Sox
minute.
teams. Yeah.
Wow, you guys just got what I was going for.
I honestly thought you meant the.
Yeah, I did too.
John Farrell,
because that was the main of the topic that I realized. I was like, oh.
Listen, John Farrell leaving is so dumb. I'm a really big John Farrell supporter. Honestly, if the Yankees had been swept by the Indians, I'd have been screaming for the Yankees to go after John Farrell.
You know where I think,
LGM.
You know where I think John Farrell will fit? And honestly, Dom, you just said it, the Mets.
There was a report that came out that Sandy isn't interested in him.
Is not?
Is not.
Of course
that is ridiculous.
It's Sandy Alderson. The guy would give a 2-year extension. That is, or actually, it still hasn't been finalized, but that rumor was out. But still,
you're lucky that hasn't been finalized.
You know what? With this firing, I think it's really between the management above him. You know what I mean? I think there wasn't not a good connection. They were saying earlier in the season.
Dave
and stuff
Dombrowski
like that.
and John Farrell did not get along.
So they didn't mesh at all. So when you don't have someone that's a higher ranker than the coach and the manager himself, and it's not on the same page, I think that's when the time you have to let go.
Well, the issue is Dombrowski didn't hire Farrell.
Yeah,
okay, that's just